Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Jeffrey and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe. Hello and welcome. I make e-commerce videos and dropshipping for you guys to really accelerate your growth and jumpstart your business. Now today I wanted to get into a topic of how much money I actually need to start dropshipping in 2019, and thought I'd share my perspective and my opinions and everything else to show you guys what I think. So before we begin, make sure you subscribe if you're new here and turn notifications on so you make sure that you don't miss out on any content for the future and be the first to see it. And like the video if you got some value or if you enjoyed the video itself, and really comment below what you think, what you think and what you want to see next, so I know what to make based on what you guys want. So without further ado, let's get right into it. As you notice, I'm actually making like a slideshow this time, something new. I actually have a webcam for my other videos, but thought I'd make something different. But anyway, let's get right to it. So the quick answer to this is, basically it really depends on your budget and your risk tolerance. So what I really mean is, how much do you want to invest and how much money do you actually have? So if you really want fast results, I would recommend obviously more of a budget to work with. We can get into specifics later in the other slides, but basically that's how it goes. But if you want slow and steady results and you want to play it more safe, then obviously you don't really need as much budget. Again, we'll get into the specifics, but if you want to be safe, you don't really need that much, and you can go slow and then really reinvest in to the business once you get some momentum and some of the capital going. So let's go for the first route first, which is what I call the low cost route. So basically what this means is you have less than $500, and obviously you're going to spend a lot of money on different things to get everything up and running. You are running a business essentially, but the bare minimum is I would recommend $200, but it will be pretty hard to do. Now if you have less than $200 or $300 or something like that, I would actually recommend finding ways to get the initial capital first. For example, getting a job, a day job, doing some freelancing, helping other people, do a service like mow lawns, stuff like that, and really get the momentum going and your capital going first. So right now you can see here I actually have a table, so which basically highlights everything that you actually need, kind of like the basics. So let's go through it. So the first one we need, obviously, it's going to be a Shopify plan. The most basic one, I believe, costs $29 a month. And so you're really going to have to pay that to maintain the platform, because you are running a platform from Shopify and they're actually hosting the server for you. So you will have to pay a service fee for that. Now, if you really want to start, there's actually a 14-day plan. There's actually a link down below where you can get started using my link. And basically, but you're going to need $29 a month to get started, and that's going to be recurring every single month. And the second one is going to be a domain name, which I highly recommend, just because it's going to make everything look more professional. Usually what beginners tend to make is like a mistake that they make is use the custom default Shopify domain, which is like your business name .myshopify.com, which is not what you want, because it doesn't convey a sense of professionalism, and it's just going to be straight off. People know that you're using a Shopify platform, and usually that means they know dropshipping as well, so that's not what you want. So the third thing you really need is a custom logo, which costs about $10 to make, $15, anywhere from $10 to $30 really. And you can usually use services like Fiverr. You find freelancers to customize your logo and make the logo for you, or you could use other online sites like Tailor Brands or other logo makers as well. There are some free ones out there, but I would recommend just making something more simple and professional. It is worthy of an investment because you're going to be using that logo long term if you really find the right one. So definitely a good investment to make. So basically, the next part is going to be the bulk of where your money is going to be, which is going to be marketing. In this case, so if you have less than $500, I would actually recommend influencer marketing from Instagram. Basically, it's a paid shout out. And what paid shout out, basically what it is you're going to be finding pages that are similar to your niche. Or if you have a general store, you might find meme related pages, for example. That's a good tip for you, where they sell they kind of show and share very private and very like viral kind of videos and pictures, and so it's really going to be relevant to what you're trying to offer. So influencer marketing is where it's going to be most of the time if you have less of a budget, and I would say put rest of your money there. The shoutouts could actually range anywhere from $50 all the way to like $200, but I would recommend starting between $50 to $100, or maybe even less if you don't know if the product's working. So this is going to be the most effective route if you actually don't have enough money, and obviously you're going to have more than $200 to $300 if you're at this stage, due to the reasons that I explained above or just now. So this is what you want to do if you are on a limited budget. So the safe route, or a route that I recommend is when you have a budget of $1,000 or more. And as I said, this is actually what I recommend, as it's going to leave you more room to work with for your ads and for your growth as well. For example, if you want to really scale your campaigns, you're really going to need more budget to work with, obviously, and that's going to take more money and capital. And I actually recommend Facebook ads for this if you're actually going down this route, because of we're going to highlight some of the pros and cons later on, but this is what I recommend because this is what I use typically, and it's going to be the go-to methods, especially for dropshipping. So basically the payments are going to be the same. You have basic Shopify plan, $29 a month, a domain, custom logo, $10 to $30. But the really big difference here is the paid traffic ad platforms, which I recommend having $500 or more to start off. And by saying paid traffic ad platforms, I really mean Google ads, Facebook ads, Bing ads, or everything like that, or Pinterest or Snapchat. There's actually so many, but I would recommend Facebook ads just because everyone's doing it, and there's a reason why everyone's doing it. It's because it has it's one of the most effective ways of driving traffic to your store. So we can talk about apps. You are going to use apps later on, but apps are usually free, especially for the most important ones like 𝗿𝗲𝘀, other important apps as well. I actually have a video regarding apps, what you need, so definitely check that one out if you're interested. But apps are free, but later on you really want to have paid ones to really help you drive your traffic, sales, and your average order value and your growth as well. Later on as well, you want to invest into virtual assistants, like people who help you with your customer service, your emails, your fulfillment, and stuff like that, and potentially even finding products for you and doing the research once you really grow and scale your store. So this is going to be the safe route, which is going to be more than $1,000, because it's going to really leave you more room for growth and money on ads. So there are a few ways to drive traffic to your store, and I think this is very important to talk about, and thought I'd like to share this with you as well. So paid traffic ad platforms are going to be the most effective ways to drive traffic, in my opinion. This is going to be things like Google ads, Facebook, etc. For this specific case, we're talking about Facebook ads. So some of the pros would be, you really have high scalability, and what that means is you can really reach a lot of people in a quick amount of time, and really reach new customers without having to expose your ads to the same audience as and getting the same repeat customers. It also has a really detailed analytics/metrics section for you to look at, so that's really going to help you decide whether or not something is working or not. Obviously it's going to take some time to know what these are and what they mean, but once you really know what they are, you can actually tell whether something is working or not. So for example, on Facebook, if you see a click-through rate of let's say for example under 1%, that means your ad really needs work, because the percentage of people who are clicking through your website after seeing an ad is really low, which means there's something wrong with your creative or something wrong with your ad. It might not be appealing enough. So things like that, very important and valuable analytics you could look at. So the cons would be, unfortunately, it could be a really steep learning curve for you, especially if you don't really know what you're doing. Facebook ads takes a lot of time, especially to learn and master, especially. Also, especially considering that it always changes, and there are lots of ways to run, your store using Facebook ads and different strategies you could use. So it could be very overwhelming at the beginning, and lots of different kind of factors and variables you could really tweak to kind of optimize your campaigns. So it could be very overwhelming and something you'll need to learn, gradually and take some time to master. You also burn money quite quickly if you don't know what you're doing, which also ties back to steep learning curve. Be expected to lose some money in the beginning because you might not know what you're doing, you might not have the right products, you might not know what you're looking at in terms of metrics. So these things will really help you burn money and really stack up. So have that mentality in mind when you're actually starting off with Facebook ads and anything else. It's also very competitive now, considering everyone's starting dropshipping and using Facebook ads. So then again, you have to prepare to lose some money, especially like I said, running Facebook ads, and make sure you really are finding ways to differentiate yourself from the masses. For example, have a unique website or logo, have really winning creatives. Make sure you're creative with your ads, your ad copy, and stuff like that. So the other side of the spectrum is going to be influencer marketing, as I just mentioned, which basically means paid shoutouts. You're going to be going to bigger pages and promoting your products there. Now, one of the pros is that it's going to be really cost efficient because it's really cheap. Usually costs anywhere from $50 to $100 for a medium-sized page. Excuse me. You can actually get a huge return on investment (ROI) if you have the right product and the audience. If you don't know how to find the right product, then you can try finding some videos on YouTube to figure out how to find those, or you can look at my video as well. I actually have a video on how to find winning products. Several ways to do that. It is very straightforward as well, so it's going to be really easy to find a product and promoting it and getting your product out there using paid shoutouts. It's really going to help you get your feet wet on the process of dropshipping. For example, fulfillment, paying through AliExpress, how to fulfill, and running your store in general. Now, there are some cons as well, of course, and one of them being limited scalability. What I mean is it's hard to reach new audiences that way, because the only way you're going to find new audiences is to reach out to other meme pages or other pages related to your niche. And that's really going to take some time, and it's not always going to be the same results. Another con as well is that pages nowadays, they actually know their value and they're aware of dropshipping in general. So usually, or sometimes, what they might do is they might scam you by buying fake engagement. So some of them might actually reach out to you and say, oh, do you want a shout out? Because they actually know what dropshipping is, and they want you to buy a shout out from them to get them more money. And as a result, they might buy fake engagement to really trick the beginners into thinking that they have a lot of people viewing your website and your store and your products. So make sure to do your due diligence if you are going through this route. I actually know a thing or two about Instagram influencers, about how to find engagement, how to determine whether it's real engagement or not, determine the engagement rate, whether the traffic or like the engagement is real, things like that. So comment down below as well if you really want to see that. It can also be really annoying to schedule because you have to keep finding meme pages and different kind of pages. So you really have to keep talking to these influencers on their direct messages, and it might take a while to respond due to the different time zones and everything like that. So it might take a while to get everything up and running, but it might be worth it if you know what to do. Now, just a few tips before I wrap it all up. So you really should find something that is already working in terms of your products, because you don't want to find something that you don't know is selling. And you should also find one paid traffic platform if you really do decide to go through that route, and try to master it as well as you can. Now, I would recommend Facebook ads or Google ads. These are the top two popular ones, but I'd recommend going through everything first. And really master it and make sure you're proficient at it before you diversify, because you don't want to be the jack of all trades and spend and burn a bunch of money without getting good and consistent results. And remember, at the end of the day, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So really take your time to learn the stuff, especially when it comes to running a store, dropshipping, running paid advertisements like Facebook, because it's really going to take some time for you to master and get experience from and knowledge as well. So yeah. One thing I also forgot to mention is that if you have the money, $1,000 or more, I would actually recommend paid programs or mentorship. So paying someone who already has the knowledge or already has the result that you want to get. Alternatively, you could also look into courses as well. That's also a really good investment to get your feet wet, to really skip the learning curve and accelerate your growth. So that's what I also recommend. Now that said, that's all I have for today for this PowerPoint. So make sure you do subscribe if you really enjoyed the video, if you're new here, and like the video, as it'll help my channel out and everything that I put out in the future. Now, I would want to thank you all and for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you have a productive day and enjoy the rest of your night, evening, afternoon. See you later in the next video. Take care.